Hey everybody, how's it going today? My name is Ben Forsha. I'm with MindBodyBuild, and I have Andriea Aden with Aden Law. Hello, Andrea. Thank you
Hello.
for being here today.
Of course.
So Andrea, I wanted to have you on today and just talk a little bit about your success, how you came to be in the business that you're in, and just to kind of chat and hang out here.
Yeah,
Um,
of course.
tell me a little bit about your background and where you grew up.
So I'm born and raised in South Dakota. That's where I'm from. And I did my first year of college at Hawaii, University of Hawaii at Hilo. Then I actually ended up moving back to South Dakota, finished up at the University of South Dakota with a political science degree. Went right on to law school at University of South Dakota. And then I moved out to Reno the day after I graduated from law school. My husband got a job out here, so he relocated a year before I did. And we've been here since that was 2008.
Awesome.
So,
How was Hawaii? Did you do anything crazy out there? Like, did you start surfing or anything?
no, I did not surf. I was actually in Hawaii during 9/11,
Oh
which
wow.
was a very crazy experience with all the airports and everything being shut down. It was scary, but a really awesome, like, life growing experience for me to go so far away from home and kind of really develop my own support system and being independent. I always was an independent kid, but it was a lot of fun. It was really cool. It's a very fun place to visit. I would never live there again. You definitely get island fever.
Mhm.
And so, but it was cool. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I almost feel the same way about where I grew up in Tahoe. I mean, it's not that far away from here, but like, growing up, I think we had like 1,500 or 2,000 people in Tahoe City and just a small place. Like I loved, I would visit there now, but I don't think I'd raise family
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
there. So I know you and your husband have a little bit of a sports rival. So what sports do you enjoy to watch?
So huge football fan. Go Vikings. I bleed purple. Being born and raised in South Dakota, that's kind of the closest team. However, my husband, ironically, I don't get it other than he loves Joe Montana, is a diehard 49ers fan. So when we moved out here, that was huge. So being in 49ers territory. So yes, we are big rivals. We play each other about once every 3 years in the regular season. Then we actually, for the first time since 1997, play each other in the playoffs
Hmm.
this year. So we went to the game and we lost. So, but they lost the Super Bowl. So, anyway, yeah, football mainly. We like hockey. We'll watch Golden Knights.
Okay.
And my husband's a diehard Twins fan. So then I pretend to be a Yankees fan just to piss him off. But I really don't care about baseball.
Yeah. Awesome.
But football is life.
Cool. I know from talking to you previously, you and your dad are really close. So, growing up, what would be one thing that you feel like you learned from family, or one thing that you took away?
Yes, I'm definitely a daddy's girl. I've been talking to him pretty much every day through this whole COVID crisis business. I'm still his pumpkin. That's a PUNKIN apostrophe. Even at 37 years old. My dad is my favorite person. I love him so much. He's just a good guy. But he taught me a lot of who I am today is because of my dad. And actually, we recently had this conversation about not only kind of like the professional aspects of being organized and prepared and that kind of part of my life, but as well as just the empathy that I've built. And like, he's telling me stories of how he has all these N95 masks and he went and donated to all the nurses that are friends of his, like trying to give back. And he's a big teddy bear. So he's taught me kind of that balance of how to be smart and successful and organized, but also still be a good person. So I miss him a lot.
Yeah, I'm definitely missing my family too. It's kind of a crazy time right now.
Yes.
Um, so I liked how you said that, the organization, but also like being able to give back. Is that something that you really enjoy about working in family law?
I do, especially right now. A lot of people have been affected by losing their jobs, and there's things that you need to do if you have like a child support obligation or an alimony obligation that you need to do now. And
Hmm.
that's, seeking relief from the court. Now, you may not be able to get into the court right away because courts are effectively shut down, except for kind of emergency hearings. But you can go back to the month that you sought the modification to kind of retroactively apply it. You still have to pay, or if you can't pay, at least you have an excuse, a good reason why you can't. And hopefully you can get some relief from the court. There's no guarantees what a judge is going to do or what the situations are. So what I've been doing and really trying to figure out, I mean, as a small business owner, this is a scary time, right? For any of us
Yeah.
to figure out how we're
Hmm.
going to stay afloat. But also, I mean, we got to help. We got to help people. So I'm offering free consultations, which is normally I charge $200 to any of those that are affected by the COVID-19 crisis, that have lost their job, that just want an hour of my time to help guide them through the forms or what you need to do or where you need to file or even what the law is, just to try to help. So that's one way that I'm trying to give back, and through what I do as a family law attorney.
Hmm. That's awesome. I thank you. That's cool. So talking a little bit more about family law, what got you into family law?
So it's a long story that I'll try to make short. When my first job out of law school, I worked at a civil litigation firm, and I was doing civil litigation, mostly insurance, like construction defect work, insurance
Hmm.
defense. Super boring. Holy cow.
So were you a door hanger? Did you go knock on doors and ask for people to sign on the construction defects?
No, so I actually I did the defense side when the insurance companies hired our
Ah,
firm to represent the contractors.
got
So
it.
HVAC contractors, framing contractors, the general contractors, all of those. We had a lot of little like subcontractors that we would represent in those huge Chapter 40 construction defect cases. I mean, I'd sit in depositions for hours and hours and hours listening to stuff that I don't even understand. So it was just, it wasn't what where I was passionate, but
Hmm.
it was a job. I mean, it was during the recession to get a job right out of law school. That was huge. So, and I learned a lot. I will say that I learned a lot about civil litigation. It was a very valuable experience for me. It just wasn't where my heart was. And so how I got into family law was my husband had a coworker who had a custody case and he couldn't afford an attorney. And they approached me knowing I was an attorney, asking for help or even just asking me questions when we would socialize. And I said, let me see what I can do to help. So I talked to my firm and asked if I could take the case on pro bono, and they let me. And I knew nothing about family law. I had to learn it all on my own. And I, went to this hearing, did this all-day custody hearing, and just kind of figured it out. And at the end of the hearing, the two memories that I have and why I do family law today are as follows. First, after the hearing, the judge said, Ms. Aden, will you please, I would like to talk to you. And I was like, oh God, what did I do? And the judge said to me, he goes, what are you doing here? And I'm like, what? He's like, you work for a civil litigation firm. What are you doing here doing family law? And I said, oh, well, Your Honor, I'm here to just help out. It's my husband's coworker. I took it on pro bono. And he goes, Ms. Aden, you are the most prepared pro bono attorney I've ever seen, and you need to do family law. Wow, that was a huge statement to hear from a judge. Then, as I'm walking out of the courthouse with my client, and his daughter was there, the judge actually had the daughter come testify. I'm watching my client walk hand in hand with his daughter, and I was successful at the hearing, and I won in full custody. And I watched that, and I was like, I did that. I helped. That moment on, I was bit. I was bitten by the family law bug. It was what I was meant to do, and I sought really hard after that to go work with a family law firm, and was able to do that for 7 years, and then went out on my own about 3 years ago now. So it is my passion. It is what I was meant to do. I get to help families every single day, and that's an honor that I
Awesome.
get to do every day.
Sweet. So Aden Law was born about 3 years ago.
Yes. So like April 1st, technically, I guess. So yeah, 3 years ago of 2017. So that's when I decided to hang up my own shingle and took that huge leap of faith. And it's been great. It's been stressful,
Hmm.
but great.
Yeah. I hear a lot of, organization, from what the judge said, from the way that you prepare for, going to court and things like that, how do you stay organized and how do you keep organized?
Yeah, well, thank you, Dad, again for that skill, that life skill. I don't know. It's just kind of innate in me. I have at least three to-do lists at all times. My ongoing client case list to-do list, my daily to-do list, my calendar. I have two calendars actually. It's just about being prepared and really truly being organized. I mean, I'm juggling, 70 plus family law cases at any given time
Wow.
with my firm, and you just got to stay on top of it. And honestly, my amazing staff are key in that. I mean, you can only be as good as your support system, and they're incredible, absolutely incredible. I'm very, very lucky and blessed to have them. So we all work really well together and just stay on top of what needs to get done.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's something that you really truly have to either know how to do or be taught or learn. And to be a successful attorney, you have to be organized. There's no way.
I'm kind of curious about your team. So if I came in and asked your team, what's one quality that they would give me about you?
About me?
Yeah.
Oh geez, wow. Extremely organized, and I'm fast. I get things done. They always are like, Andriea, we can't keep up with you. You're just too fast. I mean, emotion comes in, I'm already drafting the opposition. I don't wait till the day it's due. My things are always done way ahead of time. I don't like having emails in my inbox. I go through my to-do list, and I have a huge sense of accomplishment every day when I get things done, and my clients appreciate it. And the biggest comment I get from my clients as well is, you're so responsive, you get things done, and that's very appreciative. And so much of my job in dealing with these people's lives and going through divorce or custody battle or whatever it is in family law is just being there for them and knowing that I'm working for them. And so to have that responsiveness for me, I view it as an obligation, a very significant obligation, that if anything, that's what they deserve from me at a minimum, is to be here for them to talk to and communicate with. So, yeah.
Awesome. It sounds like that's probably, I guess in your opinion, is that one of the qualities that sets you apart from other attorneys?
Yes, very much so. I very much respect all of my colleagues, and I have a lot of great colleagues that, do family law. We all know each other. But that's the number one comment I get, is that you're so responsive in compared to others. And even other attorneys tell me that too. They're like, Andriea, you always get stuff done so fast. We know you'll get it done. And the judges even recognize that as well, I believe. I'm often asked to draft the orders because I know I'll get it done and I'll get it done quickly. And that doesn't mean that the other way isn't, it's just different. That's just me.
Yeah.
But
I think of the Nike slogan, just do it.
Let's do it. Get it done.
Yeah, there's no procrastination. That's awesome.
No, I am not a procrastinator. Absolutely not. No. Sometimes probably a little too fast. Maybe sometimes I'm learning that. That's one skill I'm learning right now, is that I don't need to be so responsive and so reactionary. Maybe I'm training myself to, like, if I respond to an email, okay, maybe step away and then come back and read it again before I send it. Really trying to balance quality and speed is a big part of it. So, So my staff helps with me with that too, is they'll help review everything and make sure that it's not just, it's quality work coming out as well. That's very important to me.
Yeah. Seems like during this time, there's a lot of reflecting happening. There's a lot, there's a lot that people are realizing about, like you said, slowing down and, creating some quality and, just slowing down. I think that we move really, really fast.
Yeah, absolutely. I've taken this time to, man, it's a weird time out there. So, and not only even just professionally, but also personally, just to kind of step back and take a beat. I'm so guilty of my routine and go, and work. And, getting home late every night and then working some more. And it's like, you know what, let's take a pause. Let's really kind of appreciate what we have, as opposed to focusing and stressing on the scary parts of what's happening right now. And trust me, that still happens. I mean, we're humans, but you have to kind of just step back and be and take in the positive for a minute, or you're gonna go crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. That kind of leads me into my next question. How do you measure success for yourself?
The easy answer, right, is what's in my bank account. Is that how you define success? That's not how I define success. To me, and that's not how I think anybody can really define success, because it means something different to everybody. Um, to me, success isn't a thing or an end goal. It's a journey. Um, it's always striving to be the best that you can be. And what I do is I always set. I'm a goal oriented type person. I always set, and my dad taught me that too, is set a goal, set the little goals, set the big goals.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll set my little goals, even daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever that is, and then kind of end, goals in life. And to me, success is obviously achieving those goals, but you can't achieve every goal. I mean, that's how you learn, right? You learn from those failures as well.
Mm-hmm.
But to always strive and never give up to achieve those goals, that's success to me. And for anybody, whatever that goal may be, saving up to buy a house, or saving up to buy a car, losing 100 pounds. I mean, whatever that goal is, that's success. And it's the process of working towards that goal. Even if you don't ever really fully achieve it, you're successful in trying.
Mm-hmm. I think that's super important that you brought that up. I talk to a lot of my clients about, setting a goal and what does it look like to be on the journey to get there? Like, what are the milestones? How do you know that you're getting closer and closer to that goal? And I think that's kind of the smaller goals that you're talking about, having this big goal and then really knowing, what does the path look like and what are those smaller steps along the way?
Yep, absolutely.
So for yourself, like, what does leveling up look like, or what's your goal for Aden Law? Like, what do you want to see in the future for yourself?
Leveling up, I think, is really achieving those little goals. That's like a level up to me. I think I'm a big, huge nerd, a not so secret nerd. So I love to play video games, right? So when I level up my character, like my favorite video game of all time is Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Best game ever. Every time you level up your character, right? If you have this like sense of accomplishment, like, yes, and I get to add more attributes and become a better character. To me, that's in life is, okay, what did I learn from today? What goals did I achieve today? Or what didn't I achieve and why? And learning from those goals and then working harder to do better. And both professionally and personally. There's so many things that, I try to evaluate on a daily basis. What can I do better? How can I be better? Both in being a lawyer and being, a wife to my husband and, to my family and friends and things of that nature. But my leveling up our goals for my business, one right now, I mean, it's going to sound a little slow, but stay alive, stay open, which I'm hopeful we can do. Just continuing to provide quality service for my clients is, the standard I hold myself to. I hold myself to a very high standard. So, I mean, ultimately, I just want to, continue to, be there for my clients and run a successful business. And, I can say, I want to be the biggest family law firm in Reno. I mean, that would be great. I don't know. I like my little boutique family law firm here that I have. People come into my office and they say it feels homey and comfortable. I don't want to become sterile, or you come in and you feel too much like a lawyer's office. I don't wear a suit every day. I call it my lawyer costume when I have to go to work. So to continue to just be a human and be there down in the trenches with my clients, I think they appreciate that. So to me, success is staying grounded and staying who I am and continuing to provide quality service for my clients.
Cool. I would agree that your office is homey. I had the pleasure of coming and visiting, except for the creepy basement.
Yes, nobody goes in the creepy basement, but me or my husband. He'll come and haul boxes down there for us. It's scary.
I liked how you talk about, leveling up as far as, balance with like work and life as well, because I think that that's important. That, we, talk a little bit about life and, the balance with work and life, and how, if you, are leveling up in work but not in life, like, are you really even, leveling up, right? Like,
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I know that you're an avid, gym goer, and that, like your family time, you like, hanging out with friends, and, you have a successful business and it all kind of works together for you. And, it's really important.
Yes. I couldn't do my job as a family law attorney if I didn't have other outlets to and maintain and really work on my life. This job will chew you up and spit you out if you don't have the coping mechanisms in place. And I learned that pretty early on. And I even struggled with a little bit to not wake up and have those 5 a.m. thoughts and have that anxiety and stress about, oh, have to do this in this case. And it was, taking on the stress that my clients have and going through this process. And what I've learned is that I'm a better attorney when I'm healthy at home.
Hmm.
And working out and going to the gym is my stress relief. That is my hour 4 times a week where I get to just lift weights or do cardio or do whatever, and I just don't have to think about it. And I come out so refreshed. Like, that's my stress, that's my outlet. And everybody, find that healthy outlet that works for you. And the other thing I really had to learn to not allow like doing family law to kind of infiltrate or come into my personal life. And that's, I think, comparable to any job. I mean,
Hmm. Hmm.
any job that you do is going to have its stress associated with it. But as a family law attorney, what I had to focus on was, separating myself from the emotion of the case. And it sounds kind of harsh, but I explain it this way, that I'm a better advocate when I stick to the facts, I stick to the law, and I'm passionate about what I'm advocating for, but I'm also honest with my clients about, what's going on. And I also can't take on their stress. So if I have a client coming into my office and they messed up, right? They did something they shouldn't. I can't undo that. That's, not my circus, not my monkeys is the saying, right? You always say, but I can be there and be an advocate to try to fix it and try to move past it and advise them on what they need to do. Now, what I don't do is I don't go home at night and stress about what they did and how that's my fault or my problem. It's not. I'm an advocate. I'm there to help solve the problem. And I've really seen that come into my personal life a lot. And I've learned a lot of lessons in that regard. When anytime a problem comes at me, even in a case or in personal life, the first reaction isn't now to freak out. Oh my God, what do we do? And lose your mind about it. I always am like, okay, we have a problem. Let's figure out the solution.
Hmm.
So that goes kind of through everything in my life, personally and professionally, that I really have found it's a valuable skill that I've learned is problem solve, not and plan. Don't react and freak out,
Hmm.
especially with what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
And that I think so many people are going to freak out and what is this, and what not to do. And it's like, okay, let's problem solve and take each day at a time and make a plan as opposed to just freaking out.
Yeah.
So, and I am working on that on a daily basis because I too am a human and this is scary and stressful. So,
For
and
sure.
nobody's perfect.
Yeah. I can relate to a lot of what you said. I mean, how can I stay calm, cool, and collected and really be an advocate for my client? And, I heard you talk about empathy when we first started. So it's how can I, same thing for me as a coach, how can I bring that compassion and empathy and kind of leave the sympathy and kind of leave it at the door when I leave at at the end of the day. Because like,
You have to.
really, yeah, can't take that on. And, just, I like how you said, be an advocate, for them. And,
Yep. And sometimes a lot of what I do is protecting my clients from themselves. They do
mhm.
stupid stuff all the time and I have to yell at them. Knock it off. Hey, stop doing that.
um, so I guess we can start talking about some more of the family law. I think that there's you probably have some pretty good stories to tell.
Oh man.
um, but
Yes.
we'll keep them we'll keep them positive and healthy. And so tell me about a client that or a case that really touched your heart.
Sure. So many. I mean, anytime that kids are involved and you can help and you keep kids safe, that's huge. And like I said before, it's an honor, and it truly is an honor for me to be able to help, give a voice to those kids that may not have a voice, through their parents or even through guardianships or adoptions.
Hmm.
Um, that's it's an honor and it's a pleasure to be able to do that. And thinking about this, one case that really does come to mind is the client came in just kind of a disheveled person and wasn't sure if they wanted a divorce, wasn't sure what to do. There was a kid involved. There was some serious issues with the other parents going on, and they really were just struggling on what to do to keep their child safe and getting the divorce. And took them a while. Took that client a while to kind of get on board and want to file for divorce. And now the divorce is done, custody, the child is safe with my client, which is a great thing. But what I think most, and I think about this case, is when my client now walks into my office, that client's a different person. Their aura, their persona, who they are, it's just different, and I can see it. And I helped with that. I helped that client find themselves and guide them through this process. And so I share that story in other consults and say, hey, this is going to be tough. This is going to be one of the toughest things you go through. I'm here to guide you through this and help you through this. You're not going to like everything I'm going to say and everything I'm going to tell you. You're not going to like everything the judge is going to do. But at the end of the day, this will be done and it will be over, and you will get to move on with your life, and you will be a different person. And at the time, they don't believe me, but I've seen it. I can physically see the change in my clients going through this process, as hard as it is, to come out the other end a better person. And to be a part of that process is very cool. And I don't take that responsibility lightly to guide them through that. But at the end, it is very rewarding to see kind of how they grow and be a part of that growth. It's awesome.
Cool. Yeah. What's the saying that we grow the most through the most pain? Something close to that. And, unfortunately, we have to get to a certain level of pain to want to grow, or the pain is put on us and we grow through it. Right.
Yep. I've had a lot of clients who this isn't what they want.
Yeah.
And it's tough. They want to try to work it out, and they don't want a divorce, or they won't want to have to go back to court, but they're stuck and they have to go through it. So if I can, help them through this process, being their advocate, that's, it's my job, and I love it.
As far as divorce and custody, are there any myths out there that you could shed some light on?
Yes. Let's see. In Nevada, particularly, we get a lot of calls. I need a divorce fast. You're Nevada. Well, no, it's not how it works. We only have a 6 weeks residency requirement, but a divorce on average takes about a year from filing to completion to get a decree of divorce. So there's no such thing as a quickie divorce unless you're going to agree on everything. The other one that I hear the most, and it's kind of odd to me, is that people want their children to testify, and if they're 13 or older, they get to testify. That's not the law in Nevada. There's no age in Nevada as to when a child can testify. I also am extremely opposed to children testifying. I think it's detrimental to them and extremely traumatizing, and I've had to do it. Judges have asked for it. There is a child witness testimony statute that exists specifically in regards to children's testimony. There is no magic age. The statute says, and it's one of 10 best interest factors. This is the other thing, is people think, oh, well, my kid says they want to live with me, so I win. No, that's not how this works. It's one of 10 best interest factors, and it says the court may consider among everything a child's preference if they are of sufficient age and intelligence to assert a preference. Not when they're 13. That doesn't exist. So I'm often telling people that, no, I want my kid wants to go tell the judge what they want. And I'm like, no, we're not going to do that unless it really, truly needs to happen. And it's ultimately up to the judge to decide if the child testifies and how the child testifies. Because we do have options for alternative means, meaning they just go in and talk to the judge. We have the right due process requires that we do get to listen in, but we'll usually be like in another room. And we get to submit questions to the judge, so the child isn't having to sit up on the stand in front of mom and dad. Can you imagine how traumatizing that would be? Oh, yeah. So I get that question all the time, is I want my kid to testify. They're 14. They should be able to. No, that's not how this works.
Mm.
So
Wait. What happens if they do testify? What are they going to experience? Yeah, I think
and I
that's
will say
important.
Nevada has with the child witness testimony statutes that came out just a couple of years ago, they've helped give us more guidance. Before we were just kind of in limbo land, not really knowing how to make that happen. And then there's I forget the name of it, but there's a program that it's a kids court where kids can go, and they use it mostly in dependency cases, because dependency cases, the kids are often brought in to talk about. Dependency cases is where child protective services is involved and the child is removed from the home.
Mm-hmm.
And they're replaced with a foster parent. Those kids are often at the hearings and are talking to the judges. So they'll run them through this program. Gosh, I wish I knew the name. Where they take them into a courtroom and they try to make it less scary and run through, here's what to expect. And so that is an option available that we could ask to have the child go through to maybe be exposed to the courtroom process first before just showing up and having to talk to, some random person in a black robe who they don't know about, what's going on with mom and dad. So they're doing their best to try to reduce down the traumatic effects. But still, I was 13 when my parents got divorced. I could not imagine being put up on that stand and having to say, I want to live with my mom or I want to live with my dad. Scary.
Yeah, that sounds brutal. I'm lucky to have both my parents together, and I couldn't even imagine.
It's terrible for business. No, I'm just kidding. That's my bad joke of the day.
Terrible for business, good for family.
Yes, absolutely. I always joke this is going to be terrible, but I always joke I'm pro-marriage because people don't get divorced unless they get married.
Right?
Terrible joke. Delete that out.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine 100% of people that don't get married don't get divorced.
Correct. Yes. True.
So as far as family law attorneys, what advice would you give somebody that is trying to find somebody?
So if I have to tread lightly here. If the attorney makes you any promises as to results, walk out. There's no guarantees. And I'm very upfront with my clients on that. The only promise I make is my advocacy and my communication. I cannot promise results. I cannot guarantee results. Your perception of your case is inherently skewed, and you're going to believe that you are going to win. And it's my job, frankly, as the advocate, to tell you when you're wrong. And here's the weaknesses, and here's your exposure, and to use that to, try to reach a fair resolution. So I call them rainbows and butterfly attorneys, where they walk in and they promise you the world. I am not a rainbows and butterflies attorney. I am an honest, probably to a fault and a little blunt at times with my clients, but I tell my clients what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. And at the end of the day, how I explain it to them, I go, listen, you're going to pay me a lot of money to do this. And if I guarantee you this or promise that, and at the end it doesn't go your way because I wasn't honest with you, who are you going to be upset at? Me. It's my job to guide you through the process and be honest the whole way through, even if you don't want to hear it and even if you disagree with me. I have no crystal ball. I always, joke with my clients and my counsels. Let me wave my magic lawyer wand and get you everything that you want. That's not what's going to happen.
You can't do that.
At the end of the day, when I tell them, I was like, listen, you're going to be pissed. You're not going to like what's going to happen, but that's how you know it was fair, is everybody walks away mad because the other side is going to be mad too. The judges their job is to be impartial and make the decision that, depending on what the issue is, it's best for the children, is consistent with Nevada law for dividing assets and debts, or determining alimony, determining child support. You don't get to, call the shots or have it go your way. The law is the law. And a lot of clients don't like what I have to tell them, but I'm going to be honest.
Awesome. Cool. Well, Andriea, thank you very much for being on today. If somebody wants to get a hold of you, how do they reach out?
Sure. So you can call my office at 775-622-9245, or you can email me directly. My email is Andriea, spelled Andriea, at Aden Law, ADENLAW.net. You can also visit my website at adenlaw.net and submit a contact us form on there as well. And we would be more than happy to help out, especially if what's going on right now. A lot of questions about custody exchanges and how that's going to happen, and what should be happening with the shelter in place orders, or traveling, across state lines, or doing those child support review or modifications. There's a lot of things up in the air right now, and I want to be here to help and guide those people through that. And the courts, while closed, are still open, meaning we still are filing. We're still doing emergency ex parte motions. I've had to deal with a lot of that recently, and what was normal, like legal custody decisions, are now becoming a court decision. What I'm seeing a lot of is one parent's concerned the other parent's not following social distancing guidelines and isn't following, kind of the governor's directives in that regard. And if those kind of things are happening and you're concerned that your children are being put in danger or being exposed, I'm here to help. We need to get that issue before the judge and get a decision from the judge on what to do and what isn't appropriate at this time. We are in uncharted territories right now, and especially the legal custody realm. We're still frankly figuring it out as family law attorneys. But ultimately, what I want people to know and hear is if there's a dispute between two parents as to what to do with their children during this time, you both have an ultimate veto power. You both have the right to say no. And if you can't agree, the judge has to decide. So I'm here to help get that before the judge so you can get a decision as soon as possible.
Awesome. Great advice for the time. Thank you very much. Once again, Andriea Aden with Aden Law, and my name is Ben Florsheim, MindBodyBuild, your complete coach. Thank you.